dooby da, dooby dooby dub dub.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Dooby dooby da, dooby dooby dub dub.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Dooby dooby da, dooby dooby dub dub.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Dooby dooby da, dooby dooby dub dub.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
And there we are. We are now live for another episode of The Dorkening. With us today, we have Kevin.
Well.
Steven.
Hello, everyone.
And our good friend, R.W. Martin.
How you doing?
And what's the name of the cat that's meowing in the background?
Pearl.
Oh, Pearl.
Yeah.
How adorable.
I know. She just wants to be in on the podcast as well, I guess.
I get it. I understand.
So we were having quite the heated discussion before we went live about streaming and everything. But just want to give you a heads up, if you missed the end of last week's show, Wolfie has left the Sunday show, so you won't be seeing him here in Wicked Horror. So we're going to be changing things around a little bit since we were recording on Sundays and Tuesdays because of Wolfie. That frees us up to make maybe some scheduling changes. So we'll play around with some dates, see what dates and days work best for everybody. Because I know we all have lives and everything, and it's we need.
We do.
We do. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I mean, you were doing. You stopped one night because you were doing. What is it? Trivia. When's your trivia night?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. So maybe you can start doing trivia again. Maybe we'll talk about it.
All right.
Yeah, it's 2020. A lot of awesome stuff happening. So, we'll just look for some awesome news coming out soon. And, the discussion we were having earlier was streaming.
It's a discussion we've had before.
We have.
And you were very anti this, but then you kind of agreed with The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
By the end of it. So the argument, not argument, the discussion was, because it wasn't an argument, and this came up with RW as well. And well, Stephen, you had some things. We all had things to say about it. But when things like, platforms like Netflix, we're talking about that series You that you said, RW, that you and your wife, is it your wife or your girlfriend? Girlfriend, sorry. Same thing. Common law. When you guys were watching, you watched both seasons of You, and I know my wife started and finished, watched the whole thing, and which is great, but at the same time too, with things like The Mandalorian, where they release it episode by episode, week by week, it actually lets you space things out and think about things, and maybe even have a discussion with friends over the week to to come up with your theories on what's going to happen next, and plus it makes you the whole thing. And you don't have to sit there and spend a whole day or two just watching with things like The Mandalorian, where it frees up other episode by episode, week by week. But I don't know. I personally, I don't think it's a bad idea. Don't get me wrong. There's other times I just want to binge watch something. I think it's good that discussion with friends over the after it's the last episode. It's all there. To come up with your theories. So I'm sorry, Leo. Plus it makes you just want to say what we were. You don't have to switch your friend. But hey, that's weird.
Yep. I'm sorry.
Kind of echo.
I know. I fixed it. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Kevin had I had some issues with your camera in the beginning. It just didn't show up during our test, which is odd.
All right.
But it's fixed. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, you should. You should be sorry.
Okay. We'll give it a second for the feed to refresh, and but yeah, I'm sorry. What were you saying while I was listening to all those echoes?
Everything that we were discussing.
Okay, so Mandalorian, I agree. I enjoyed waiting every Friday for. But perfect example is like Watchmen. So it's an hour-long show, and I couldn't find the time to fit like an hour in every week, and I just ultimately forgot about it. I caught up over vacation, over holiday, and amazing show, but I stopped watching because I just couldn't find the time to catch up. You miss an episode or two, then you got to figure out, okay, where do I have 2-3 hours to watch Watchmen?
Yep.
But at the same time too, if it was all just readily available, you would still be spending that 2 or 3 hours or more just sitting there watching Watchmen one day.
Yeah, but
so it's more of a planning out your time and not just being like, I'm gonna waste an entire day sitting here and just watching something, sitting on the couch not doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. But don't get me wrong. Get me wrong. Like I like the option to do it, but I think certain shows shouldn't be. I think it would be smart if Stranger Things was like week by week.
Yes.
Because I sit there and I'm like, oh, that was great. And then, I have to wait how long for the next season. And then I forget because I watched it all in one day. I forget, the last thing. And the recap doesn't tell you everything. So I'm going to have to watch it again anyway. So it's like, if it's spaced out, again, plus it gives you the opportunity, like I was saying before, in so many echoes, it gives you the opportunity, like week to week, like I was going to work, and just being like, oh, did you watch the episode of Mandalorian? Yeah. What did you think? Oh, it was this. So what do you think what do you think next week or whatever? Plus a podcast, like we can break it up week by week as opposed to being like, hey, did you see the whole series? No. Okay. We can't, then we're not going to talk about it because we can't ruin it for you.
Yeah. But you still,
we can't talk about it. You would still talk about it and ruin it for people.
So one issue I have, it's not related to the series thing like you see on Netflix. Is something like I stayed up Friday night when I got out of work and I watched a wrestling pay-per-view. The thing is, it was aired in Japan, and Japanese time it started at 2 a.m., which in Japanese time is 8 here. Which I was just like, yeah, time management wise, it was just like, but if you've seen a show like The Witcher on Netflix, I saw 2 episodes. I'm just like, if you separated it week by week, then I would have watched it. I saw 2 episodes. I'm just like, no, I'm not having it.
Hmm.
But I agree with you, Leo, and Kevin about The Mandalorian. I love how they've separated it, each week. That gives me time to digest and think about it. Plus the fact that look at all the TV shows that have done that.
Right.
Batman, Dragnet,
Everything.
She-Hulk. Yeah,
Everything. Dallas.
yeah.
People were talking about who killed JR for like, oh my God, who was it? Like,
Yeah,
you don't have that if you're like, who was it? Next. Okay, there it is.
right.
That's who it was.
It's just one of those things. Like I like to be invested, and I like to have time to think about it, not just give me 30 seconds and jump into the next episode.
Right.
I haven't seen the new Dracula yet on Netflix, and I hope they're following the Mandalorian format, like with the scheduling. But
I don't think they are.
Well, it's a BBC show, so they might.
Did you see the billboard for that?
yes,
Yeah.
Holy shit, that was awesome. Did you see it, RW?
Which one? Sorry.
For Dracula, the new BBC.
No, but I saw an ad and it looked pretty good. Like not an ad, but just a
Yeah.
like,
So it was like the billboard had a bunch of like stakes in it
the
with
stakes,
blood.
and then it goes nighttime, and then it
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's so cool. I just want like a small version of that to put on my wall. That'd be so cool.
So with the BBC shows, I know the Great British Bake Off, they do weekly. And, that's fun to catch up on. I could see, some shows, but it's...
I don't think it should be everything. I don't think it should be everything, but I think like some of the shows that maybe like I think Stranger Things wouldn't be a bad idea because and then at the same time too, it's like, okay, it just came out today, and if I don't watch it today, then it's going to be ruined for me tomorrow because people aren't going to shut up, and that's just how it is.
It's like that with most popular shows. I mean, look at Mandalorian, look at Glow. I mean, look at Stranger Things.
At least with Mandalorian, they can only ruin one episode for you,
And then a million memes and products.
Yeah,
and
and Baby Yoda everywhere and whatever.
So going into the weekly shows, they're forcing it on you. Where if they release everything at once, you have a choice to space.
You have
it
a
out.
choice, but again, like I said, and you completely disagree with me, but it's we don't have the willpower.
Yeah.
And you can say that you have the willpower, but you don't.
Actually, no, we do. Me and Megan have been watching
But if it's something like The Mandalorian, there's no way in hell you would have spaced that out.
Correct, because it's such a
right. That's what I'm saying for those kind of shows.
It's such a short show. It's half an hour each episode, and there's only 8. So you figure.
Was it a half an hour each episode?
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was a half an hour. It seemed like it was more. I think it was like
the first one was like 40 minutes.
I don't know. It felt longer.
But
not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But still, for a person that we've joked around quite a bit that you are constantly trying to spoil your own the movies that you want to see. There's no way in hell you would have the ability to not watch like a show that you really like in one sitting or in 2 sittings. If it's spaced out, then you have time to you have time to digest it. You have time to think. You have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I get that point, but also for people that have crazy schedules like myself, I was able to catch up on so many shows during vacation.
Those people can catch up when they have time.
Yeah.
Because when an episode airs, it stays there.
Yeah.
So if they can't watch it right then and there, like all of it, then when they do have time, they can watch the 3 episodes that they've missed. And if it gets ruined for them, oh well, because they ruin it for us when they watch all of it at once. I'm not wrong. I'm sorry, but I'm not wrong.
Well, to each their own. I mean, if Witcher if Witcher was a weekly show, I would have never, been able to really catch up on it because it's long.
What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. It was really good.
RW liked it, right?
Yeah. Tracy and I have been watching it. We're not finished yet. We're only like halfway through, but yeah.
It's the one thing that was very confusing was you didn't realize in the beginning that it skips time. And I was reading a forum on it, and all these Witcher fans were saying, I guess the books are very similar. You could be reading for like an hour and then realize you're reading a different time frame. So I guess the book gave subtle cues about what time frame you're in, and the show definitely does that too. But it's a great.
I still haven't watched it. I mean, it's in my queue.
I was two episodes in, and I was just like, I'm confused. Then again, I never played the game. I never read the book, but I was never into those medieval shows or movies.
What about Game of Thrones?
Never seen an episode.
That's like me never seeing a James Bond movie.
Oh,
wow. Well, you have them all on your Plex, or most of them.
Yeah. But I've never watched one.
DW says the rant by Kevin LOL and Benjamin.
It's not, I mean, I'm not going to say the rant because that's DW's intellectual property.
Yeah.
DW has the rant. But no, I'm just it's we did it forever, and for real, like it's great that the options are there, but I don't think that should be the only option. I think it would be smart too. Like, it would be smart for companies to do that. I mean, yeah, they'll make all their money in views. They'll make the same money. They just won't make it today. They'll make it spread out over like 2 months.
Well, so I mean, you can see certain channels are trying it. It's definitely old school the way TV used to be. But
TV's still that way. Still is. TV is still that way. Streaming is not.
Yeah, exactly. And old school TV is going away. 5 years.
No, it's not. Yeah. Saturday Night Live has been doing that for like over 25 years.
Yeah, but it's
over 35 years. Yeah. It's actually they started
35.
Actually almost 45 years, because they started in I think it was 74 or 75.
Yeah,
is when they started. And that's a long time ago, because that's right around when I was born.
Okay, I'm not talking about like weekly. I'm talking about streaming and versus old school corded TV.
There's always going to be a option, whether it be over the air or whatever. There's always going to be a option for people like Wolfie who don't want to do the streaming thing.
Not always. I mean, I can see it going away.
They're not going to. For people that love money, there's not going to not be an option. They're not going to, like, there's going to be something. Like, there's going to be something, whether it be the mainstream or whatever. Like, that's a different story. But there's going to be an option. It's just, it's not going to be right now, like, where it's like, hey, here's a billion channels.
Well,
here's a billion channels. Here's your bill for $500.
Yeah, I get it. People still buy records, but
people still buy records.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's
the new thing. I mean, I read an article that record sales have trumped CD sales. Yeah.
DW says Netflix has stated that they're thinking about not putting all its series out at once due to people binging and then unsubscribing. I think money is definitely going to talk, and I think this is a trial. Certain shows are doing it, so they'll analyze the numbers. But
look how many people dropped out after Mandalorian ended.
Yeah.
Well, because it was the only original series, and that's why they pushed up. Well, not the only original one, but they have
original Star Wars series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean the only
good one.
The only other series you have that High School Musical, the series or whatever. And,
who the hell wants to watch that?
I know people that watch it. I don't.
Yeah.
But
I mean, to each
also,
their own.
What about the Jeff Goldblum one?
Yeah.
I watched the shit out of that show.
Yeah. But I mean,
but I also don't pay for Disney Plus. My niece gave me her login, so whatever.
But what I'm trying to get at is eventually, cable will price itself out of the industry.
Yeah.
And you said it.
I think what they'll do is they'll give you other options, and they'll be forced to bring their prices down. They'll be forced to, because right now, like I was using Sling. I got rid of Sling because I'm actually paying less now. My cable company has an option now where if you have a Roku, you can still get your live TV. We have, I think it's like 60 something channels with a cloud service DVR, and I think we're paying like $35 a month. You know, and that's we were paying over 100 before for cable.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what I was going to say with that.
For a cable box, we were
Yeah.
paying over $100 for a cable box with a bajillion channels that we barely watched any. Like, we have 60 something channels now. I watch like 5. My wife watches a completely different 5.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's Lifetime or Hallmark. I watch Comedy Central. That's it.
But the thing is, you hit the nail on the head. You know, prices for cable have been really increasing. People cutting the cord. You know, people have been sick of paying, $100, $200, $300 a month for cable, and the prices have just been going up and up and up, and they're continuing to go up for companies like Comcast because more and more people are leaving, and they still got to make their profit margins. You know.
Well, places like Comcast, like Spectrum, like wherever with Spectrum, I'm actually impressed that they're given the option of doing this. So I think you're going to see more companies doing that.
Yeah.
Like where I'm still getting my internet through Spectrum because I have really no other option. I'm getting my internet through Spectrum, and I'm getting my local channels and everything through this streaming service. Like so with Sling, I didn't get all my local channels. I got one. And if I DVR'd, it was weird. It was a local NBC, but if I DVR'd it, it was from Chicago.
Another great TV service I looked at was Pluto TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch out there. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
Eventually, a bunch of these are going to fall away. They're gonna disappear at some point.
Well,
I hope Pluto TV doesn't go away because they have a Mystery Science Theater 3000 channel 24/7, and I love watching that in the background.
You're going to say RW?
It's just like, Toys R Us, Fi. Like, you go to Fi and you buy a Blu-ray for $30, but it's $20 anywhere else. Or, Toys R Us is the same way. You go in to buy an Xbox and it was like $75 more than anywhere else. So where are you going to go? You're going to go to the place where you can get the thing cheaper. And cable TV, like you say, it's like you get your basic package for $60, $80, but then if you want HBO, it's like another $30 and so on and so forth. And people don't want to and like you say, you get 300 channels and you watch 5 of them. So what is the point, really?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I originally liked Sling, and I still don't have an issue with Sling. The only thing I wish Sling had was a better option for local channels, because I do like to watch like local news in the morning when I'm getting ready. It just gets me nice and angry before I leave for work. And and the fact that I didn't have, I didn't have live Fox. It was only Fox on demand.
You watch
I didn't
Fox?
have CBS. There's things I watch on Fox.
You mentioned news and then you mentioned Fox.
No, not Fox News. I'm talking Family Guy. I'm talking Bob's Burgers. I'm talking the lifeblood of this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watch a lot of cartoons. All right. I'm 44. Whatever.
Nothing wrong with that. Benjamin says he's paying $250 a month for cable. Roku, here I come.
Oh my God. $250.
Yeah.
But there was a bunch of good services that were out there that are no longer around.
Yeah. DirecTV.
PlayStation View.
They went away. DirecTV now doesn't have long. They just dropped Roku support, so you can no longer get DirecTV on Roku. I think the two best out there right now for the selection is Hulu and YouTube. Those are the two king of the hill right now.
I like Sling. I do like Sling. The only thing I don't like about it, and it's the same thing with Hulu and YouTube, is the locals. You don't get all your locals. So Sling's like, oh, you want more locals? We'll send you an antenna.
Yeah. You get a bunch of. You do get a good amount with Hulu.
Not in my area.
Yeah.
No. It depends on the area, but
yeah.
You don't get everything. Like, we still have CBS All Access because there's some shows my wife likes, but we didn't have regular CBS, and that's why we got CBS All Access before. It's because there's some shows she watches, but I don't know. You want to have that option.
I'm really excited for Star Trek Picard.
Yeah, that's going to be good. That's starting up in a couple weeks.
The only thing that I would even care about on CBS All Access is a season 2 of Twilight Zone, and then that's it. As soon as it was done, I'm like, yeah, we can cancel. And she's like,
well, that's the great thing with streaming services is you can sign up, watch what you want, get caught up, and cancel. And Netflix saying that with people
until eventually they don't let you. Eventually they may not let you. Like they'll let you cancel, but if you want to sign back up, it's got to. Like I know there's actually with Spectrum, when I canceled regular cable, they're like, all right, well you can't get it again for another year, if you cancel.
Yeah.
Like I tried to do the online thing, and they were like, no, you can't do that because you canceled before. And then once my year was up, I was able to do it. And it's there's no contract, just that because I was in a contract that I ended and I didn't, whatever. They set restrictions.
Yeah.
Benjamin says, I just need Bruins, Patriots, and History channels. You get a bunch of different History channels on Hulu. I don't know about sports. I think they have a sports package. But Amazon's actually doing a lot with sports also. And, everybody watches their own things. Some people love History channels. Some people love, Wives of L.A. or whatever it is.
So some people are you.
Yeah. DW says he canceled cable 4 years ago. 59 internet, Roku, and Sling. Free Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, Prime, and pay for DC Universe. I actually resubscribed for DC Universe.
Sucker.
I know.
Did they put everything on there this time?
No. It's I'm just gonna watch the originals and read the comics. So the Harley Quinn show is so awesome. But this is where things are headed. Original content. It's there's too much crap TV out there.
I remember growing up. I grew up in Waterbury, Vermont. And my parents never had cable because even though my dad worked like 65 jobs, we just couldn't afford cable most of the time. So we'd get Channel 3 out of Burlington, and most of the time we could get 22. But then if you turned your rabbit ears just the right way, you might get Channel 57, and you'd be like, yeah, Channel 57. And every now and then you'd get CBC 6 out of Canada or 12 out of Canada or whatever. And that was on our color TV. And then later on in life, I got my own little black and white. And if you took this black and white TV and set it in this certain corner of the living room, you'd get this one other channel. I forgot which one it was. And you'd be like, yay. And it's just so funny because I grew up with, 3 main channels and 2 extra ones if you were lucky. And now it's like, you can get all these channels, on all these different services or whatever.
I can watch like so much crap on my stupid phone.
Yeah.
And it's like
RW, I'm right there with you. We didn't get cable until my sister actually started working for the cable company. Then we got like free cable. But before that it was you had the TV with the dial, and you played with the dial.
I was the remote control.
Yeah.
If you wanted the TV turned up or turned down, send this guy.
Yeah.
And then the little knob would fall off. You'd have to use pliers.
Yep.
And I remember when we got cable, it was there was no remotes. It was like this big box. It looked like it had like a wood grain on top and had like a bunch of big clicky buttons.
Yeah.
And each button had like 3 numbers on it, and you would have like ABC. So it's like, it's channel 2, channel 10, and channel whatever. And like, all right, if it's 2, if it's on A, it's 10 if it's on B, it's whatever, And they gave us an extra long cord so we could bring it to the couch. That's where it all started.
Yeah, I remember those.
Ben says RW was the other channel, the Dukes of Hazzard. LOL.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Did you guys ever have the cable box that had the slider for the channels?
No.
And
button with the dial, which I don't know what that even did.
This was a long box, and it had like a slider like you would see on like a mixer, but going the opposite way. And if you slid it in between channels, sometimes you can get like a naughty channel.
Oh,
I was just gonna say, what about if like on in my area, the bad channel was channel 38. Like it was I think it was called Spice, whatever. So if I put it on 37 and then changed it from 2 to 3 on the TV, some long nights. Some long nights with some glazed knuckles. Anyways, so one of the things I wanted to talk about, just because, let's change the subject.
Yeah, totally.
They released some info about the PlayStation 5 possibly being completely backwards compatible, like all the way back to PS1.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty awesome. And I guess the system itself is going to be compatible with PS4 controllers as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be wicked expensive, so it's probably going to be years before I even attempt to get one. But I have boxes of PS1 and PS2 and PS3 games.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right. Cool.
There you go.
Yeah, that has my attention. Plus, when they debuted the Xbox Series X, aka the 2001 monolith, because that's what it looks like. They said there's rumblings that it will be backwards compatible with every 360 original, Xbox.
And that's the smartest thing. Like if they don't do it, it's stupid. Like that's the only reason I never bit the bullet with the PlayStation 4 is because I have a ton of PlayStation 3 games, and I'm like, I'm not gonna just have to have two systems. Like I don't like. It's stupid. It's dumb.
Yeah. I mean, my nephew has a PS4, and when he first got it, I said, if you ever get Spider-Man, let me know, and let me borrow that for like a couple hours because I want to play Spider-Man. And he's like, you can buy it yourself. And I'm just like, yeah, well, you're a teenager, right? Yeah.
Ben says, "Give me back my Atari, and I miss Pong."
Mm.
I had the like Pong. That was like the second video game system I got. I got it from a cousin.
Yeah,
actually.
But, I still have my sister's Atari. It's in my cabinet down here.
Nice. Yeah, the first one I got was a Columbia Home Arcade, which was an Atari 2600 put out by Columbia House.
Yep.
And then I got a Pong, and from there, Nintendo, the Super Nintendo. I never had a Genesis until I moved in with my wife, and I was never a Sega guy. I was always a Nintendo nerd.
I ordered this one thing for my N64, and it plugs into the back, and you plug an HDMI cable into it, so you don't have to plug the RCA cables. And yeah, you can play an N64 through HDMI.
Nice.
Does it do any upgrading, or is it?
Yeah, it can upscale to 1080p. Which
So I know Metal Jesus Rocks on YouTube. He reviews a lot of those kind of things, and some of them have like built-in shaders and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of options out there. That dude, he's crazy though. Like he has separate systems for everything, which is insane to me. Like he's got multiple TVs like in his man cave, aka his butthole. Sorry.
You could also play them upgraded on a Raspberry Pi, which we were talking about prior also.
Yeah. Or RetroArch. If you have a computer, you can use RetroArch and play a ton of stuff. You can even do it on a crappy Amazon Fire Tab, which I was playing Metal Slug yesterday.
Really?
Really.
That's good to know. Metal Slug's an awesome game.
Yeah. That's like out of all of the Neo Geo games,
yeah,
those are the only ones I have. Like the only ones I play are the Metal Slug games. And I do spend quite a bit of time at the Metal Slug at Fun Spot.
Yeah.
When I'm there, I do play most of my time will be spent on Metal Slug.
I have not been there yet. I have to go.
Well, you're missing out. You're the only one on this show right now that hasn't been there.
Yeah, RW practically lives there.
Yeah.
They
kicked him out.
Lives there too.
Yeah, but it's they have that giant pinball machine, like what is it, Hercules or something like that?
Yeah, the ball's so heavy. Once it goes up one time, and that's the only time.
Yeah, it's a literally a pool cue, like a cue ball, like it's the cue ball instead of it's ridiculous. But yeah, that place is great.
Yeah,
and
well, that whole area is. I mean, that's where you vacation. We vacation there as well. It's,
well, I don't vacation in Laconia. Like I'm like, we're usually within like probably like a half-hour drive. We go up to North Conway a lot.
Okay.
Is a cat coming in?
We lost RW.
I wanted to mention something.
Oh, it's Fun Spot coins.
Oh, there we go.
So here's my issue, RW. Whenever I go, I get $20 worth of tokens, and they last you all day, and you still have some left. And I've never taken any with me. I've always when there's a family, I've the last time I was there was with some guys from Secret Underground Hideout, and we went and we all had coins left over, and we saw this family, and his mother was going crazy, and these kids rah, 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 and we went over and gave her all of our extra tokens. We're you're gonna need these. Yeah. we do it every time. So
well, it's amazing. I mean, $20 for 125. You can't.
And you're there all day. All day.
I play the game where you put the tokens in and the little thing slides and pushes more tokens, and I leave with this many every single time.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even spending them all in the arcade, the classic arcade, how many games are 1 token or 2 tokens?
Yeah.
And it's
Well, that's normally where I just spend my time. When we went this summer, Will Yates says I vacation at the loony bin across the street.
Nice.
And William Pace says dorks, and Tracy says I never come home with tokens. I never went to anywhere besides the classic arcade room, except
there's a bowling alley. There's there's some stuff.
Megan came with me this year, and we explored a little bit and did some of the games downstairs. But most of the time, I just stay in the classic arcade.
I'm up there.
How big is that? Is it a
3
one big room?
3 floors.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, the classic arcade museum is one whole upper floor, and it's a wall of pinball machines, a wall of Pac-Man, all the different Pac-Mans, and it's packed. It's really packed. And
you get pizza for $12, I think, and you get a token that gives you 10 tokens or whatever. Yeah. And the pizza's not bad. So it's pretty inexpensive, and you can spend the whole day there, and it's absolutely,
Yeah. The only thing I recommend is definitely plan it around when kids aren't on vacation, because we went the last time we went, it was packed with kids. I mean, which is fine, but sometimes you just have a kid just wailing on a machine and comes over and goes in the second player and starts effing shit up. Oh man, it's weird that I just censored effing, but it said shit.
Angela says, Angela says, hey, and William Pace says, is there a bar though? I believe there is downstairs.
Yes,
I think there is. Yeah.
Bar. Yeah.
Now,
for those who've seen the documentary King of Kong, that's where it was filmed, and that's why RW has that cosplay, and he goes there.
I do.
I had I think it was the director of King of Kong on the show once. I was doing a live stream from GamerCon. Richie Knuckles, that's who I had on. I think he was either the producer or he was the instigator for both those men. I can't remember. But
so RW, you got to go to GamerCon in your new cosplay.
Yeah, I do. When is it?
March, I believe.
23rd, 24th, I believe.
Yes, fake Billy Mitchell. So it's funny because, again, I just did it not necessarily as a joke, but I was oh, I'll do Billy Mitchell. Why not? And now his wife follows my fake Billy Mitchell page. So it just absolutely blows my mind that Billy Mitchell's wife likes my fake Billy Mitchell page.
Keep an eye on that man.
What is that?
Claiming to be me.
While I was there, there's this what's that with the briefcases?
Deal or No Deal.
So I'm say to my friend, I'm hey, let's try this one time. So I'm picking number 13 for Friday the 13th, right? So he picks all the other cases. We get down to the end. Number 13 has 1 ticket. Oh my gosh. I'm yeah, that didn't work out so well. But.
Yeah, it's
Con is Billy Mitchell.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And for those in the New England area, Fun Spot's definitely a place to check out. If you want to check, I mean, it's right near Laconia as well, so it's a good vacation spot. And there's actually an arcade in Laconia as well. That's an old school arcade.
Yeah. So if you don't know the area, it's Lake Winnipesaukee, huge lake.
Where Adam Sandler is rumored to hang out.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to arcade bars. I went to Bit Bar in Salem when I went to see Halloween, the 2018 premiere. And I went to, well, I haven't been there yet, but they just opened one in Southington called Gamecraft.
There's
So I was
open one in
talking.
Worcester. They opened one in Worcester as well. I haven't been, but yeah, the thing with this is like, I mean, a lot you go to a lot of those the bit bars. There's a lot of newer stuff. It's like it's kind of like a
Yeah.
Dave and Buster's, which is
Well,
which is fun.
the
But
one in Salem, the one I went to a few years ago, it was unique because you had all these old games lined up, but they could have put more, but I understand they didn't put more. Like they put more way in the back, but it was because the fire code they had to put the tables, and it was a restaurant and bar. So,
mhm.
but
Well, here's the question. I mean, you mentioned what the hell is that place? Dave and Buster's. I mean, do you guys really enjoy the games there? I mean,
No,
you
I've
get
never been. So
you get
it's I mean, the first time I went, it was good. That was years and years and years ago. Now all of the games they're either shooting games or racing games. Um, they'll have like gigantic versions of games. It's like, oh, a gigantic, Angry Birds or whatever.
yeah.
It is the only place I actually ever played a sit down Mario Kart.
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
but we played that together, right?
Possibly.
they have
Uh,
a similar one of that at Mohegan Sun, but they changed it to Game On, and they added a bowling alley, and so it's not Dave and Buster's; it's something different.
well,
But it's
Yeah.
kind of like Dave and Buster's.
the,
Hmm.
the problem with those games is they're really made to take your money.
Yeah.
It's normally like 30 seconds of gameplay for like a coin.
Yeah, the only games, I mean, the games that I usually will play when I'm there is usually like if there's like Mario Kart or something like that, or there's like a sit down trivia game where it's like a multiple choice thing, and like you can get a bunch of people to play, and people,
Oh, back
whoever wins gets tickets. But
back
and
to
and
the
I like doing that. But what's up?
back to the Bit Bar place. You had a token machine. So you put money in, you got tokens, and you put their tokens into this. So you had like a NBA Jam, you had the Tetris arcade console, like machine, like the original Art Tetris arcade machine. You had all these pinball games, like old pinball games, like Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula from '92, and
You want to see old pinball games? Go to Fun Spot.
yeah, they have
Like
them.
they have like legit ones that are so old. There's like no lights on them, like
And they're like,
crazy old.
ting, ting, ting.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never seen a Back to the Future one, but when I was at Retro World Expo, they had free play pinball, free play arcade, and I saw Back to the Future one, and I spent most of my time on that one.
But for real though, like you should just for pinball alone, like there's like the history of pinball that's there, and the thing that's a lot of these are like very very old, expensive games, but you can play them all, like
Yeah,
which is and it's and most of the games that are there are not owned by FunSpot.
right. I was just
They're
donate.
yeah, they're donated. Like it's when you go to like a art museum, you see a painting on the wall. It's usually not owned by the museum. It's owned by someone else. It's curated and like tours around. So that's kind of the deal here. Like there's someone who's like restored this machine, and it's they just have it there for use because they want people to use it.
Or somebody bought, through the years, they accumulated 10, 15, 20 consoles and they had them their whole life. And then they're like, you know what, I'm going to donate them to Fun Spot and let other people enjoy them as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like some of the old pinball games, like I say, they're like 50s and 60s or whatever.
Yeah, even earlier. I think there's like a baseball one there that I think is like pretty early.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do have to say is because they are older machines, sometimes you'll get there and some of the machines aren't working.
Right.
But it makes sense. I mean, they're crazy old machines, a lot of these. But
A lot of people don't realize that they want a free game. So if you go there, you go down all the pin. I do it every time. Bing, free game. Bing, free game. Bing, free, and I play pinball for like an hour because there's all these free games on them that people didn't know they had. And as many games as you see in Fun Spot working or out of order, they got a warehouse somewhere else with that many more that aren't there.
yeah, like that, like they can use to repair or swap out or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Hercules pinball machine too, Steven. That alone, just to see it, it's like
Got-
legit. Your arm span is like this for the flower button. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just real quick, if you're watching the live stream, I have some pictures of some of the arcades over at Fun Spot during my last time there. I just
Nice.
landed on Dragon's Lair, and just a reminder, the Token Dead did their first show, Still Toking with one of the artists from Dragon's Lair. Is actually really
Space Ace.
it was Phileo Barnhart. Awesome dude. He worked on Little Mermaid and Secret and Nymph, a bunch of stuff.
You say nymph?
Yeah, Nymph.
It's Nim.
Nim.
That's all
know.
right. Yeah, nymph.
Yeah.
All right. What is that secret of that nymph?
Yeah.
I want to know.
But yeah, a lot of awesome games. The original Asteroids, tons of stuff.
Yeah, actually, on my YouTube channel, which I have not uploaded in a very, very long time, Stephen, there is a I did a walkthrough of Fun Spot,
Yeah.
like there, and it goes on for a very long time. I'm
And
trying to get like all the games.
My Facebook of the times I've gone and taken some photos as well, and I went live as fake Billy Mitchell playing, and
Yeah.
about 5 seconds. But
We should do an outing. We should do a network outing.
that'd
Spot.
be cool.
Totally.
All people that are local are welcome.
Yeah.
Just pick me up on the way.
I can supply some coins.
Yeah. Imagine how many extras we would have if we all spent $20.
Yeah. Oh my.
Jack Shipley says, hello, everyone. Pinball, my time in the past. Angela says, I'm playing my DC hero and villain card game. When the silver coins drop, you get 5 tickets for each coin that drops. When you collect both hero and villain, you get 10,000 tickets. I've won so much from the Apex Center. She was saying, have you guys heard of the Apex Center in Marlborough, Mass?
Yes. Who is
No.
this?
Angela Bergeron.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been there twice. That place is sick. It's an arcade. They have obstacle courses, they have go-karts, they have laser tag, they have both. I think they have both candlepin and 10-pin bowling. I could be wrong though. And they have a bar. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome spot. Like, it's pretty nice. And it's a giant compound. It's huge. And there's a Chick-fil-A in the parking lot, so that's cool too.
Oh.
Ooh.
Close on
Not
Sundays.
on Sundays. Yeah. Not open today, guys. Sorry.
I wanted to get your opinion on something.
Who are you pointing to? Everybody?
Anyway.
Okay.
It's not kind of change the subject a little bit, but the award season is coming up. And we were talking about this on our show, but we briefly talked about it. The Oscars are in February. The night before the Oscars, I just found out about this, is a thing called Razzie Awards. So they have an award show just for the worst movies of the year.
Yeah.
And the Oscars are for like the best films of the year.
That's just so you know, it's been going on for a very long time.
Yeah, I found that out because
and didn't Ishtar win a Razzie? I think Ishtar did.
so I was looking through the categories and I'm just like, what do you guys think worst picture would be? They haven't announced nominations yet, but I just want to know.
You know it's going to be Cats.
I don't know. I mean, I tend
of
to
all the
not-
movies you've seen.
Well, that's the thing is, I tend to, because I get 3 a month, I tend to pick ones that I want to see, and I don't absolutely hate anything that I've seen this year that I can think of, but I'm sure if I go back and look at my maybe I'll look at my history and see if it'll tell me.
You know, I was listening to Kevin Smith's podcast. They were talking about Cats, and they mentioned that apparently the director, and he's done this before on another movie that required a lot of CGI. Apparently, he didn't use the ball tracking on the actors. He figured they could fix like the cat suits in post, and that's why they had to resend new footage
while it was in the theater.
Yeah, because somebody had their actual hands and not the cat hands. They forgot to put cat hands on her. And I guess there was a couple other mix-ups. But apparently he did this, the director did that before on another movie where figured they'd do a lot of fix and post, from what I heard.
Yeah, out of all the movies I saw, I would say the worst one I've seen is Ad Astra.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the worst one. I mean, I didn't hate Ad Astra. It was boring, but I didn't hate it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's movies that I'm sure people would think that I would hate that I saw and really liked, like Jumanji, Chapter 2, or whatever it's called.
The second one was good.
I think they're good. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's like I saw the first one because I was like, oh, I have a free ticket. I might as well just use it. And I was like, holy crap, this was actually fun. And considering I've never seen the original,
Well, you figure you put Kevin Hart and
Jack Black.
yeah, but also Dwayne Johnson.
I'm more of a Jack Black man myself.
Yeah, I know.
Jack Black.
Yeah. Even though Jack Black is trying to retire from acting.
Yeah. But I mean, Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, just those two together are just like
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I understand why he wants to retire from acting. He was saying in interviews that he wants to focus on family more.
Focus on Jablinski Games. I get it.
Yeah.
Tenacious D.
Well, Jablinski. Have you seen Jablinski Games?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just gonna go extra hard at that. I don't know if he's gonna go extra hard with Tenacious D.
Jablinski Games is hilarious, though. I got the
I've watched. The amount of not playing games that he does is great.
Yeah.
It's a gaming channel that he doesn't play games.
Yeah.
Because he always has a reason.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen an RW?
No.
Are you a fan of Jack Black at all?
Yeah. I didn't know he had some game thing though.
It's him and his two sons. Like they do like Jablinski Games, and they almost never play any games. But and it's fun. It's him with his two young kids, and it's kind of heartwarming at times too. I've met Jack once, and it wasn't a positive experience, and I felt bad because I actually really like Jack Black. I've been a fan since he was on Mr. Show with Bob and Dave, and then Tenacious D on HBO, and I saw Tenacious D open for Weezer back when their first Tenacious D album came out, and they were at a record store in Maine, and I went there to meet him, met KG and him, and the guy who played Lee in the TV show and in the movie, and the guy who played Lee and KG were awesome. They were like really, really, just really cool, and Jack Black wouldn't even look at anybody. And I was like, I guess hopefully he's just having a bad day, because it was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm still a fan. He did a TV show, a pilot episode of a TV show that was awesome. It was directed by Ben Stiller, but it was written by Dan Harmon and Rob Schraub, called Heat, Vision, and Jack. That was really good. And Dan Harmon's gone on to do Community and Rick and Morty, and Rob Schraub has done a bunch as well. He just did an episode on the new Creep Show and everything. But yeah, Jack Black, I'm a fan. I wish he wasn't a jerk to me, anyways.
Well, I mean,
how many cons have we gone to? And
I know.
You meet somebody that you think is like everything, and in 1 second they absolutely kill everything.
Right, and that's I'm just assuming that there was because from what I've heard, he's not really that way. But it's just like, it sucks. I drove all the way up to Maine to meet him, and I'm just like, I'm waiting in line, bought the vinyl, waiting in line for like hours, get to meet him, and he wouldn't even look up at you, and I'm like, fuck, that sucks.
That was the nervous thing, was when I drove all the way to New Jersey to meet John Carpenter at Monster Mania.
Jealous.
I was so nervous. I was like one of the first people in line because he didn't show up right when the doors opened. I was really nervous because I've heard rumors that he could be kind of like Jack Black, not look up at you and all that stuff. But he was nice, very friendly, spoke a few words to him, and I asked him I talked with him about his live show that he does, and it was interesting, just the man, the myth, the legend,
right,
2 feet in front of you.
Yeah, the first time I met Gunnar Hansen, who's the original Leatherface, he was not nice, and but I still that's my favorite horror movie, and so I still every time I would see him at a show, I would still go up and get another autograph, whatever. And every other time after that first time, he was a sweetheart. So again, he just must have been having a bad day, or maybe it was a bad hour or something. And I just happened to be the one that, was at his booth when he just was irritated with something. And I'm like, that sucks, but I'm glad that it changed, because he was a good guy.
Yeah. Ben says the problem with famous people is they forget how they got famous. With the fans, there is no fame. Will Yates, I think we all have stories like this. Mine is Bruce Campbell.
See, I've met Bruce a couple times, and he was awesome every time. Like, I didn't meet him at Rock and Shock this year because I've already met him I think 3 times, and he was fantastic every time I've met him.
I'm kicking myself for not buying a ticket to go meet him.
Well, I mean, maybe he'll do it. Maybe he'll do another show. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sure he will.
I had 2 back-to-back experiences at Super Mega Fest. Totally polarizing. Met Tony Danza, and I think I kind of ticked him off. So,
because you went up and handed him the picture you wanted, you went, Samantha.
Yeah.
You did that to him.
I was getting my picture, and Yanir, our photographer, was with us, and they kind of freaked out. You can't be taking pictures, and I tried to tell him I'm here to get my picture taken with him. I'm paying money. So smooth that over. But then we go to see John Schneider, nicest person on earth. Oh my God, he was awesome. So went from, feeling like, holy shit, I just pissed off, somebody I've been watching since I was a kid, to somebody I've also been watching since I was a kid that was just so awesome to meet.
And let's not talk about the time you've pissed off Demolition at the Chiller Theater Expo.
Yeah.
I've never seen Leo run before.
You're still standing? Holy shit.
So Demolition was at their booth, and Leo just apparently didn't realize that there was a line, and he just cut off everybody. And they looked at him like they were gonna rip him in half, and Leo just Leo ran to me, and he's like, "Get me out of here! You're gonna get me away."
Oh, I pissed him off because I was trying to get an interview. And I didn't. Yeah, I went to the wrong side of the booth, and I got their attention, and I was trying to get them on camera, and I pissed them off.
I just wish I could have seen that part of it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just remember you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, Demolition. And the thing is, he doesn't know anything about wrestling, so
no,
and I'll tell the story again. The time we're at Terrificon, and there was Jerry the King Lawler was there, and in full get up, and I was like, oh my god, look who it is, and he was standing next to a Batman cosplayer, and I was like, oh my god, look who it is, and Leo was just like, Batman, he had no idea who Jerry the King Lawler was.
Okay, to be honest, the cosplayer is Bob DeSimone, which does an awesome '66 Batman. So it's
he does,
yeah,
he does, but we also see him at multiple shows, and I was like, oh my god, look who it is. It was Jerry the friggin' King Lawler, and you're like, Batman.
Well, it was the first time I saw Bob in his costume. I didn't realize, and I don't know. I don't know wrestling. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's very little known in the wrestling world. No involvement with anything else.
The Andy Kaufman thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Andy Kaufman. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman, where he physically fought Andy Kaufman on David Letterman.
Yeah, he also tried to run for mayor for his hometown of Memphis a couple of times.
That worked out well.
Yeah.
You know who won that year? Batman.
I think celebrity encounters. I didn't have a good experience with Jonathan Frakes, but everybody else who meets Jonathan Frakes says, "Oh my God, Jonathan Frakes was awesome." So I think it's who you are, what you ask, how you approach them.
Right.
And, every person approaches them differently or says something. And a lot of people, instead of talking about, oh my God, I loved you on Star Trek as Riker, pull some obscure thing like, I loved you when you were on Dukes of Hazzard as Boss Hogg's nephew or whatever. And you pull some other thing that has nothing to do with the normal thing they're known for. Right. Or maybe that celebrity likes cats. And you go, oh my God, I have cats of my own. And now you're on their level of, not celebrity or whatever. And it's a better response. But I met Tony Danza. He was nice, but it wasn't like I got like the greatest vibe from him or anything.
Yeah,
But
it didn't. Yeah, I mean, I didn't meet him, but it seemed like it. From what I'm hearing, it was more of like he's like, "Hey, I'm a celebrity. You're here to pay to meet me." Like it wasn't like, "Hey, we're fans. Let's hang out," kind of deal. Like some of the other people.
Yeah.
And the whatchamacallit, like so perfect example of someone who's a sweetheart, Kane Hodder, right?
Yeah.
But then when the guys in Angry Geeks were doing a thing with him at the con at Foxwoods, Lewis was just like, "Yo, your boy Kane's a dick." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "No, he's not. Like Kane's awesome." And I guess, like he said, maybe said something that maybe rubbed them the wrong way, kind of thing, or whatever. But it's tough. It's tough. I guess
Also, Kane has that demeanor of where he comes off as a mean guy for the character, but if you've interacted with him enough, he's acting, and
yeah.
yeah.
I'm never gonna forget that time on set with Death House where he was coming out of that back room after
oh my God,
after the prison riot, and we're just waiting in the hallway, and all of a sudden he just comes out and throws a flashlight into a chair and just stares at us.
Yeah.
And he just walks away, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" So he didn't know we were there. He didn't know that we were there.
Well, also it was really dark. I mean, it was
He was coming out of like the basement, like it looked like it was coming up out of the basement, but in a prison in Pennsylvania.
And they had like the fog going and stuff, and
yeah, so he's coming through, and he's just all of a sudden he just sees us, throws a flashlight, and just like stares at us, and just like turns and walks away. And I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Were they filming when you did
Yeah.
that encounter?
Oh no, it was like right after he they
okay.
just cut on that scene or something, and he was going to like, because one of the things with Kane is that when he's in character, he gets in character, and like like he'll be away from everyone just screaming at the top of his lungs to try to get like revved up kind of thing, and like it takes him a little while to get down from that. And we saw him right after a prison riot, and like it's like, "Oh, Mint," like all of a sudden there's my dumb face, "Hey, I'm in the dark. What's up?"
And we need to change our pants.
Yeah. Well, shortly thereafter is when he chest slapped me and choked me out in a prison, which is always fun too.
Yeah.
That's how we became friends.
Yeah. DW says it's hard to gauge each celeb or artist as to know how to approach for an interview. Angela says, I don't think I would call this a bad experience, but I wanted a hug from Hulk at Terrificon, but he said no in his Hulk voice, but I said, I'll shake your hand. So I don't think I had a real bad experience with the celebrities. William says, Lewis thinks he's a superstar instead of just another public access. Oh, okay. I should have.
Let's not be. Whatever.
Yeah. Everybody.
Lewis is a good man.
Yeah. We're all in this together and just trying to do the best we can. So.
Yes.
And let's see. Angela says, just to be a fly on the wall, talking about when Ben met Demolition at Rhode Island Comic Con. They were actually really cool guys. I think I'm caught up on all
they
the
were
comments.
like, but as soon as they saw Leo walk in, they were just like, "Whoa, that fucking guy's here! Ah, I'm so mad! Here comes the axe! Here comes the smasher!" They put their masks on and fell. I don't know.
Yeah.
Face paint.
I'm going nowhere. Sorry, guys. I ruined everything.
That's okay. We're coming up on we're a little bit past the time.
Yeah, we should wrap things up. I gotta do some stuff. There's a top 10 of the decade that I'm doing for that horror show.
Nice.
Not that horror
that
show.
horror show.
Horror Squad.
Horror Squad.
Yeah. I got to go through and pick my list, but I can tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of independents on there because there's going to be some that are obviously I need to put some on there, but there's going to be a lot of, just to get the word out there a little bit.
I sent them my list. Just
for the year or for the decade?
Both.
Oh, okay. I'm only doing a decade because I legit could not come up with one for the year. I'm like, unfortunately, a lot of the movies that we watch, we watch a lot of movies, and I liked a lot of them, but I'm going through and looking, and a lot of them came out last year, or the 2018.
Yeah. So, silly question: is Pieces on that list?
Yes,
of course.
Circus of the Dead's going to be on that list. Red Eye is going to be on that list, and I'm going to give reasons why.
Nice.
And it was doing the decade one. It was weird because I had to remember I really didn't start getting into. I was really didn't get really into horror until I encountered you guys back, I think, halfway through the last decade, and I that's when I started encountering all these rare, obscure movies like, The Independents and all that stuff. So whittling it down with only,
Yeah,
the
the experience that you had, yeah.
yeah, but it was interesting. It was just like a lot of thought came into it. Coming
Yeah,
up
I mean,
with
there's some that I'm like, I'm definitely putting this in my list. I'm definitely putting this in my list. And then there's other ones that are like, okay, so it's my top 10, but it's not going to be like my favorite movies. Like my top 10, and it's going to have some independents peppered in. It's going to have some remakes peppered in, because there's people give so much shit to remakes. There's actually like a handful of really good horror remakes out there. Some that are better than the originals, and and then obviously there's some others that are just like a no-brainer, like Hereditary, stuff like that.
the last episode we just did films of the decade, and I brought a guest on. Not horror, not action. It was just films that we thought were the best of the decade, and I was very satisfied with how it came out. All three of our lists, and these are fun, especially when you close out a decade, because you can look back 10 years, you can look back 1 year. I mean, you can look back. I love doing lists like that.
And it really just drives me insane that I never, like, time just escapes me, like, constantly. I'm like, oh, that movie's like only like a year old. You're like, that movie's 5 years old. Holy shit. Like, how did that happen? Like, what the hell? I'm going to be dead soon.
So just catching up on the comments. William Pace says Demolition hates gingers, LMAO. Will Yates says, great show, glad I found you. Well, we're glad you found us as well. And as Ben says, these guys are awesome. Keep an eye out. They do a lot of other shows as well. Yeah, we do a ton of stuff here on the Dorkening, and we got a lot of awesome people in our little family as well, some growing shows. Just head on over to thedorkening.com and you can find actually all the shows right there. So
all of them.
Yeah. I was gonna say actually I need to add Retro Redoctopus, which
I'm very pleased that you were able to say that name.
Yeah, I've been good at saying that name,
and I highly recommend that show. I think the show is great. Retro Redoctopus.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good show.
I've met them a couple times, and they're really awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and the show is just really, really good.
Totally.
Like it's in my regular queue. So,
and just wait till the next one joins. They have a even stranger name. It's going to be difficult to say, but I'm not going to say anything until they make their announcement. Angelo says it's always good to start with the classics of horror then and now, and Ben says Kevin is it's all the edibles LMFAO losing time.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a new thing. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's what's that?
You get any more?
You need to calm down, sir.
Hey, I'm living vicariously through you. It's
fine. I'm gonna dose you in at Wicked Weekend.
Hey,
it's like that meme of what's his name? Shoot, Dave Chappelle, and he's in that hobo getup. He's like, "Yo, you got any more of that?"
Yeah. Well, speaking of Dave Chappelle, I don't know why this is just coming to me now, but the Degenerates season 2 on Netflix, short stand-up specials, and the guy from Chappelle's show that I'm rich, bitch, like that guy, and he played Ashy Larry. He's got one. It's really good. Not Bill Burr. Jesus Christ, Bill Burr has another show coming out. Robert Kelly has one, Jim Norton has one, Nikki Glaser has one on this season, and it's really good. They're only like half-hour specials. Highly recommend it. And then also watch the first season, because it's got Christina P., who's married to Tom Segura. It's got Big J. Okerson. A lot of really good comics.
Nice.
That's all.
Yeah, that popped up on my list the other day. I didn't check it out though. Degenerates.
They're like, oh, Leo Pond, Degenerates. I get it.
Yeah,
he hangs out with a bunch of degenerates, so yeah, he'd like this.
Well, we'll wrap things up, but one thing I'd like you to do is talk about a little of what you want to do for 2020, what you want to accomplish. I know it's really difficult to throw it at you, but RW...
Appreciate it.
Yeah. RW, really excited to see what you're going to accomplish in 2020. What are some things you hope to to do in 2020? Some things you got planned coming up?
Well, now that I have 2020 vision,
This guy over here, this guy. You got me. You got me.
I'd like to get my game going. Like I said, I created a game called Cabochon, and I'd like to see that come to life so everybody can, be able to play it. I've got 3 movies that I'm working on: Ballad of Billy Badass, I believe, and then an untitled project, which actually isn't for a couple years out. But if I could tell you what it was about right now, you guys would be like all over it. But once we can talk about it, I'll come here and tell you guys first. But yeah, just, I'm acting, I'm cosplaying, like I say, doing the Billy Mitchell thing, and then working on this bad boy here. So look for me at a con with this, and Billy Mitchell, and just all the other characters that I do. But I'm just hoping, 2020, like everybody says, is my year, and comic book and just writing scripts and the game, and just just networking, and hopefully be on the Dorkening a few more times, and
Only a few.
what I do.
Tori Pritchard said RW exclamation point. Yeah, can't wait to see more of you in 2020, and we just love and support everything you do, RW.
And I appreciate that. I really do. All, not just you guys, but everybody out there. It's phenomenal, the amount of people who are, hey, maybe I know this person, maybe I can help you with that, and just everybody who does things for me to help me out. It just absolutely warms my heart.
The reason is because you're just a nice guy. Like people, if you're, some people have like the ego, and they have like the attitude and stuff like that, and they think like I gotta be tough in order to get where I need to be. But you're just an approachable, like friendly guy, and people naturally want to help you if they can, like, because it's like, might as well help that dude. He's awesome, like, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Steven.
Well, hindsight being 2020. So she said 2020 vision, so I added
Boo.
that joke. So Chinese Zodiac says that this is the year of the rat, but this is the year of Super Retro Throwback Reviews, in my opinion, because I'm primarily focusing more on my audio podcasts, plural, because last Wednesday I launched the CSI Vegas files, and I have my audio podcast, which my signature multi-award nominated pop culture podcast, which is in its 6th season. I'm very happy with the format, the way I brought my co-host on, the format that we do, everything. As for 2020 itself, focus on the podcast more, YouTube less. I think that thing that happened, the algorithm and all that stuff kind of scared me off a little bit, but maybe do a couple more videos periodically. Obviously 31 Days of Horror isn't going anywhere, so that'll still happen. I got to kick myself in the rear end and do that. But conventions, obviously, Wicked Weekend, Scaricon. But obviously I love being a part of the network. Before I joined, I was part of a couple of other networks, and I just didn't like the way they went. And when Kevin and Leo approached me to join, I felt like I was at home. And I've known you guys longer than the people I knew before. And I'm very happy being a part of this network.
Cool.
Well, we're happy having you.
We're happy to have you. Happy to have you.
And talk about nice guys. You both are, incredibly good guys. So, just throwing that in.
I don't agree, but whatever. I personally think I'm horrible. So I'm a ginger bearded monster. And so that's that.
And you're the worst too.
Oh, I'm totally the worst. I have a t-shirt that says that I'm the worst. And it's made in reference to me. And there's another t-shirt that says Kevin is the worst. For real, there's a T-shirt that says Kevin is the worst. It's a Secret Underground Hideout T-shirt because I'm the worst. For me, I'm gonna try to continue with the whole weight loss thing. I'm doing all right. I'm gonna hopefully continue with it and keep it off. And yeah, I mean, focus on me a little bit this year because mentally I got issues.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm a little loopy. All right, bye.
Well, that's why I'm trying to live vicariously through you. It's to see how it helps you, and
Yeah.
because we definitely all have issues. We're broken.
Yeah.
Angela Tori says, I have a broken spine, so 2020 I'd like to work on my stand-up.
Oh, you. But
Ben says from Token Dead and still Token, 2020 is the year where the Dorkening Podcast Network becomes a household name. Oh, thanks, Ben. Jim.
Hopefully it's for positive things.
I know.
Like the Dorkening Podcast Network murdered somebody. Like it's not going to be that.
No.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah. It's like Dorkening Podcast Network, where every guest got immediate diarrhea in one episode. That's what we're going to be known for.
Yeah.
The diarrhea podcasts.
Yeah, we found that tone. Somebody's
the brown note. Yeah,
totally. Jim Moscatello's in the chat room says RW trying to get points. I don't know what that.
He's already got points.
Yeah. He has all the points.
Yeah, not just the one on top of his head. But
anything else there, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, Stephen, you know where people can find you, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to add that. Sorry. I thought that was after this.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, obviously, you can find Super Rich or Throwback Reviews, as always, on the Dorkening Podcast Network. And you can follow Super Rich or Throwback Reviews on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. More active on Twitter than Facebook or Instagram. Also, our podcast, new and improved. I changed the name. Super Rich or Throwback.
You know that the name is long when you have to take a breath halfway through it. Yeah. So I'm glad. Yeah.
Super Retro Throwback Reviews, the audio files.
There you go.
With a new logo, which I'm very happy to have. Is sixth season premiere is tomorrow at 8 a.m. on all major podcast and distributors. My sister podcast, CSI The Vegas Files, every Friday on Google Podcast, still waiting on iTunes, Spotify, and it's got to go onto the network website.
Yep.
So
we will get
that.
RW.
Other than that,
Jim says 2020 is the year that RW makes it famous. We totally agree. And his LED sabers sell nationwide. Jim, LED sabers, gotta see those.
Yeah, for real.
But 2020 is definitely RW's year. RW, where do you like people following you?
Fun spot for one.
Yeah.
Vote for dropped tokens.
Yeah. You can find me at officialrwmartin.com and just search the web on all social media, VTActor007. So that's basically everywhere on the net. And if I see you following closely in my rearview mirror, then I know you're following me for real.
And what about you, Kevin?
A-Knuckle on Twitter and Instagram every Sunday on the Dorkening. That may change though, right?
Yeah, totally.
Wicked Horror Show, again, that may change as well. Who knows? And then I do reviews with Wolfie. Those are still going to go up on the Wicked Horror Show feed. And then I'm part of Super. What the hell is my problem?
Super Underground Hideout.
I know, but I was going to say Super. I was going to say your podcast. I'm part of Secret Underground Hideout.
That's news, right?
Wicked Weekend. I mean, I was planning on having a network powwow here with everyone at the studio. So
that's right. So yeah, Super Retro Throwback Reviews is one that I'm not currently on, but I'm on Secret Underground Hideout, and also Black and White Fright, where I think we're recording an episode tonight for the movie The Haunting, which is the same story as A Haunting of Hill House, by the way, on Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it's still kind of up in the air, but there's a couple of stand-up comics that I'm working with about launching a new podcast with them. We did one episode, and it's not up, but they have. I went through and edited it, and just waiting for some feedback on their end. But yeah, keep busy for sure.
Yeah, and you got that brand new mixer.
Yeah, I got a dope ass mixer. I got the one that FTW is still in the room. I got the L8.
Yeah.
The Zoom L8. I just got it Friday. So the thing is dope. I just have to figure out how to use it all. I used the Mix Minus yesterday just as a test, and it was awesome. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great.
And the Mix Minus is automatic. Or yeah, nice. Well, learn all you can.
And I didn't use my phone. I used the Fire tab, and I just went on Skype on the Fire tab.
Oh wow.
And I called Scott, and I'm like, "Can you hear me?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "I can hear you fine." I'm like, "Is there an echo?" He's like, "Nope." I'm like, "Cool."
That's awesome.
That worked. Yeah.
Well, come bonus season, maybe I'll grab one as well. Sell me on it. That's your job.
All right.
I was
sure
already
sure
sold on it when.
Yeah, it's got the sound pad, so you can have your, you can have that horrible song that you put at the beginning right there. It's got, I can do little like boom boom when people make bad jokes. The podcast is going to be nothing but that. Because we're just horrible.
Will Yates says, "RW, you look awesome," and
Yes.
Tori Pritchard says, "Agreed." And Angela says, "I got sour grapes and Archie in love shirt, and everyone wants them. And I tell them where to go." She was asking for a Dorkening shirt. We need to get more made.
And not charge $1 bajillion for them.
Yeah. Well, actually, I totally forgot about the Amazon merch account, so I'm gonna.
Is that still active?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it up. The good quality shirts. I mean, we have some stuff on TeePublic, but the shirt quality is not great. And I paid extra for like one of the really nice shirts, and it's still like the print is like peeling off. So
yeah.
But that's through TeePublic.
Yeah, we launched we have TeePublic, Teespring, and Amazon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Amazon. The quality of the shirts at Amazon, I think are great. So yeah, put that up.
Yeah, Angela, I'll send you a link once I find it again. And I think 2020 it definitely needs to be a way to try to figure out how to fund the network because I'm going broke.
You and me both. I just spent $400 on a mixer.
Yeah. Can I send you my bills? No.
Nope. You can. I'll just put them right into recycling. You forget I work in collections, sir.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be the one calling you.
Okay. It's my monthly fees. It's I don't want to say, but
please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me feel horrible.
I know. I know. I can cancel them and I can get a mixer a month, maybe.
Don't even. Why are you even saying that?
I don't know.
Bye.
Well, 2020. You didn't ask me. I feel left out.
Oh, Leo. God damn it.
Where can they follow you, Leo?
More importantly, head on over to thedorkening.com. And as Kevin said, we may change the times on our shows since we're a little freed up now. And, we can try to figure out what works best for everybody's schedule so that we can, enjoy time with our significant others and still produce awesome content. And,
More content. I don't know if I would say awesome.
Jeez. You have to go with awesome content. 2020 year for new sponsorships. There we go, Ben. But with that, I want to thank you all for watching. Head on over to thedorkening.com. Find out about all the awesome shows on the network. 17 shows right now and growing. And I know. It's a good little family we built. A lot of awesome people.
A lot of stepchildren.
We're like an army. We just keep growing and growing and growing and growing.
Happy New Year, all.
Happy New Year.
You too.
Catch you guys there. Bye.